Hey, welcome to the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I am excited that you are here. I am your host, Jocelyn Hillam, and I want to encourage positivity during pregnancy and motherhood. 2 seasons of life that were harder for me than I wanted them to be. It's no joke that pregnancy and motherhood can be very difficult. They come with trying times and dealing with little people and the side effects of pregnancy, and it's not always easy. One of my passions and missions is to share what I have learned, as I have learned to find mindset tips and tricks that can help in motherhood and pregnancy. They can help it not seem so hard and long and dreadful and something that you don't want to do. I went from being a mom that hated being a stay-at-home mom and hated pregnancy to a mom who found more sacred beauty in pregnancy and who feels a lot more fulfilled in her calling as a stay-at-home mom. And that was a lot by choice and intentionality. And I want to help you to see that you can choose. You can choose what thoughts you want to think, and it can be very powerful. Today we are going to talk about the thoughts we want to think in regards to making and being friends. During the summer can be a good time to get together with other moms who have littles and to make or be a friend. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Thanks for joining. Making and being a friend is not always as easy as we think it should be. And sometimes it is very difficult and very hard to make and to be those friends that we want to be. Sometimes we're pregnant and we just feel miserable. Sometimes we're nursing and feel constrained by that. Sometimes we feel constrained by our little's naps. There are a lot of reasons and excuses that we have for not having time to make friends. And I will agree with you that most of them are valid. All of those ones that I listed are very important things in motherhood, and they become very important to mom in her life. And it does take priority. Growing those babies and probably not getting out as much as you usually do is a priority. Nursing your baby and staying on that schedule can be a priority. Nap times, definitely, for mom's sanity and everyone else's sanity, are priorities. We're going to talk about ways to work around that and how to make and be a friend this summer, or at least ways that have worked for me and ways that I also want to continue improving in this aspect. The first tip is probably the most important tip. It will be most important for your brain and for making this actually work. Maybe there's a mom in your area that you have wanted to get to know, or maybe in your church group, a mom that's got kids similar ages to you, and you just admire her and feel like you could be great friends. But you've been a little shy and you don't really know quite how to go about this. The first way that's going to be helpful for everyone is to do your best to pre-plan. If you can pre-plan stuff and have it on the calendar, it will be easier to work around nap times. It will be easier to work around a nursing schedule. And if you're sick and pregnant, this might not be a good time to schedule. But this is for those moms who are doing okay and who desire to get out a little bit more. So pre-plan something. Maybe your kids take naps in the afternoon. Plan something for the morning. Do it simple. Don't make it extravagant and overbearing and more than you want. Do it simple. Something that really helps me to keep it simple in these aspects is to do a public meeting spot. So if it's summer, like it is now, a park is a perfect place to meet for getting to know a friend without being too committed. You don't even have to clean your house, which is why a park or another public place to meet is very nice. I've also met friends or potential friends at the library. The library has been a very helpful place, especially in the winter, because it's indoors and it is a public place to meet and get to know your friend while your kids either look through books, or sometimes libraries that I've been to have little blocks or things that the kids can play with. That is a good opportunity to kind of take the mess somewhere else and get to know someone and get to know their kids before you bring them into your home. I know if you're like me, sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking to have to feel like you have to clean your house and also worry about it being messed up again. So having a public place to meet goes along really well with scheduling, pre-planning ahead, and not kind of like last minute. Last minute is really hard for moms of littles to make it to, because of all the reasons we've listed: nursing, nap time, and so on and so forth. While the first tip is most important, which is to schedule it, this will help your brain and it will help her brain to have it on the calendar, to have it in so that it's not last minute, and you'll be able to plan, like, oh, I'll grab some treats because it might be during snack time. So just being able to plan for it and have that plan written down is super helpful, and probably, like I said, the most important part when you have littles. The next part, though, is going to be the hardest part. The hardest part in being and making a friend can be to show up, to actually follow through. We want to use all those excuses and many more excuses that we are really good at finding to not show up to our scheduled appointment. This is going to be so important, though. It'll be important for you and important for the friend you want to make. If you keep trying to schedule and you keep no-showing, she's going to get the feeling that you don't want to be her friend, or that it's not a priority to try and make this work. And when you go to schedule things in the future, she'll probably just tell you that she can't make it, or something like that. In order to have and make friends, you have to be a friend too, and you have to show up. You can't make a friendship if you don't show up and get to know the friend. So that is really important, to show up. I'll give you an example of the other night when I didn't feel like showing up and I wanted to make excuses. This one wasn't pre-planned, so it was a little last minute. That's why it kind of threw me off a little bit. But I have been wanting to know this sister better, this friend that I'm trying to make. And she invited me to go for a bike ride, if I can say that right. And I was just kind of feeling blah. It was my time of the month, and my stomach was churning just a little bit, maybe upset from dinner. I don't know. I just didn't feel quite 100%. But I have been wanting to get to know her, and I was like, maybe I should just tell her no this time. I just can't. I can't make it work. I don't feel the best, and I thought of all the excuses. But then I was like, no, I've been wanting to get to know her. She said a short one. It won't be a long bike ride. I can do a short one. So I did decide to do the bike ride. And it was refreshing. Like, it actually helped my stomach. My mind felt a lot better and not so slumpy and not wanting to get out of the house or do anything. And I felt more energized. The exercise and the endorphins from talking to her and sharing with her my life and hearing about her life, it was invigorating. And I was so glad that I had gone. And that experience was actually the main reason why I decided to do this topic of episode today, was because of that experience. Show up. Even if you're not completely all the way there, maybe it's your time of the month and it just doesn't all feel perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I know if you go and if you start trying, you will be super grateful for the friends that you are striving and starting to make. As I was taking some notes and thinking about things to do for this podcast episode, this one just kept coming back to me. And I didn't feel like it fit super well, but someone needs to hear this. And it is to be you. Be yourself. With Instagram and Facebook and celebrities and people with millions of followers, it can be easy to want to act like someone else, or to be so influenced that we are not ourselves. I encourage you that as you meet friends, And as you strive to grow your circle of friends, be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Let them get to know you for who you are, for your weaknesses and your strengths, and get to know them for their weaknesses and their strengths. Sometimes in making friendships, in order to form a deeper friendship, you have to share some of the things that are hard for you, which is not always fun and is not always easy, but that's what allows or can allow you to connect on deeper level with some of these women that you want to get to know, is when you share what you're struggling with. I have a close friend who I text on occasion, and I'm able to share things with her that are hard. And that's because we have over time confided in each other. And as you over time confide in your friends and you build these friendships, you are going to have more friends, and it'll become easier to be friends because you know them more. So just be you. Be the amazing you and the amazing mama you are in all your imperfectness, not imperfectness, imperfectness and shortcomings. And as you get to know people better, you love them for it. You love them just the way they are. People will love you just the way you are too. So don't forget to be you. In this journey of life and motherhood and raising God's littles, they need you. Other women in this world need you. God needs you. But most of all, you need you to make friends, to be a friend, and to become the person that you desire to be. And it comes one step at a time, showing up one play date at a time. So show up, not only for them, but for you. I'm rooting for you, mama. If you need extra help in your marriage, motherhood, weight loss, or pregnancy, I offer mom coaching. There are a lot of coaches these days. And my coaching is different than a lot of other coaches because I only do it 10 minutes once a week. Most moms can find 10 minutes once a week to fit in some mindset exercises and tools and guidance where I can help lead you through some of the tough things in marriage, motherhood, and pregnancy, or weight loss. I've actually lost 60 pounds twice after my last 2 babies. I can help you in that area if that is top of the mind. But it looks different. It's 10 minutes at a time for 5 weeks. I hold you accountable. I encourage you. I give you the tools that I personally have used to find more happiness and fulfillment in my motherhood and in pregnancy. So if that interests you, shoot me an email. The email is always found in the show notes, and we can make our schedules work and get some mom coaching in. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.